The University of Oregon is located in Eugene, a city of 80,000 people, situated in the lush Willamette River Valley, midway between Cascade Mountains and the Pacific Ocean.
Touchdown! Jonathan Stewart! Yeah, I got your speed right here!
Hey, ball corner 10, outside 5. Are you kidding me?
I'm really proud of where this team's at. We got a lot of work to do.
What's the deal, Duck family? I am Kenjon alongside Jay Stu, and we welcome you to another episode of the Ducks of a Feather podcast. Exciting episode in store for you. So much to talk about, so much to get to, so much to cover. Stu, what a game. What a game.
What a game, fella. I'm so glad we were there for that.
It's one of those games where you ask yourself, it's like, I'll put it in this way. When Kobe scored 81, where were you when Kobe scored 81? You would have wished you were in the building.
You had to be there. If
Yeah.
you weren't there, whew, you missed out.
The TV did not do this game justice. I just rewatched the game right before we hopped on here. I still was getting it. I think it was just the feeling of me being there and knowing exactly what it was like. I was still getting the chills watching this game on TV, but the TV did not do it justice. The atmosphere was electric. Listen, the alumni present.
We was deep in there.
Oh my God, boy.
We was deep in there.
You
It was good
would
seeing some.
You would have thought it was a gang in there. We were so deep. We were deep. I'm talking about
Boss Ward,
right to left.
Boss Ward, LeGarrette, Blunt, Jeremiah
G.
Johnson.
JJ. It was all over the place. Listen, this was one of the best weekends of my life, okay?
How we feeling? How
what'd
we
you say?
feeling? Wait, what's going on?
Obviously we had the Duck game, got a huge win, but I had a game the following day, okay? I had to prep and get ready for that. Had to travel down to California, travel back home, get to the home turf and, get married, gain a wife. I left California with a fiance and came back and gained a wife.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful experience, beautiful time, family, friends, loved ones, food, the music, the environment, just a beautiful experience, something I'll never forget and something I'm so thankful and grateful for. And shout out to Wifey, for holding it down and getting all this together because your boy played no part. Okay.
When I tell you he played no part, he absolutely did nothing.
No part. Listen, the only thing I wanted to see, Jay, I wanted to see my bride come down the aisle, walking with her pops. That's
all that matters.
I didn't care about flowers.
Because it's just you and her at the end of the day.
Yeah. But every girl's dream is to, walk down that aisle in that beautiful white dress.
Yeah.
Her daddy walking her down that aisle. And when they ask who gives this woman away, her father's right there to say, I do. And so that was all I really cared about. But listen, let me tell you something. If y'all need a coordinator, if you need a wedding planner, somebody to put something together, my wife. I got a nice ring to it, don't it? My wife is great at it. Y'all see, we'll have the video upcoming, posting it for y'all, everybody to see soon.
Well, brother, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. Shout out to Mrs. Barner. Ooh, they got a nice ring to it.
Say it one more time.
Mrs. Barner.
Ooh, I feel like I'm a Lion King.
But
Mufasa.
You got yourself a good thing, man. It was awesome just hearing you guys talk throughout the weekend on the phone, FaceTime. And you got you one that understands you. She loved her some Kenjon Barner.
Everything and all of it.
Yeah, man.
I'm blessed. Shout out to wife.
It's a big weekend, man. Got a win. Got 2 wins.
2 wins.
So I got a question. Which win feels the best?
My wife is right here, Stu.
Just say,
you trying to
spit it out.
Are you trying to set me up?
Spit it out.
It's 2 different feelings. Obviously, getting married, that is the ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Especially, Stu, you know me. We spent a lot of time together. The places that I've grown from and the place where I stand in today. So getting to this space is like I said, it's growth. I can look myself in the mirror and say that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the man that you continue to become. And more importantly, I am proud to have been blessed with the woman that I've been blessed with because this, the Bible says it best. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, finds favor with the Lord. And so there's nothing that can top that. But this Ohio State game, I took an L to them boys, in that 2009 Rose Bowl. So it's 2 different feelings. The feeling of, this was get back for me, okay? This was absolute get back. I couldn't do it, but my boys did it for me, okay?
I felt it from, as we were on the sideline, it started like dawning on me, the impact that this game was having on you. Like, I was juiced, but you was over there like sweating. You were panting back and forth. You was like, it was almost as if you were playing the game, but you was just on the bench.
I was playing in my mind. I was playing. I was there. Every hit that was being made, I was making it.
Yes.
Every run that was made, I was running it. Listen,
Yes,
I was all over the field in that game, okay? I was all over the field. But look, this game meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to everybody who was a part of that 2009 Rose Bowl team where Terrell Pryor came out there and acted like he was Joe Montana. Just a beautiful game. But before we jump into that game, Jay Stu, we got some receipts, okay? Okay,
Yeah.
There was a lot of y'all out there talking that noise. It was a lot of y'all out there just talking out the side of your neck. Listen, what Kendrick Lamar said, don't put no coffin out the side of your neck, and that's what you did. So let's run these receipts, okay?
Watching Dylan Gabriel play football this season has been quite awful. Ohio State defense, that secondary, gonna eat him alive. I just think Ohio State's the better team, the better roster.
Ohio State, I think that we all know that this is the best roster in the sport. Oregon is a really good team, but they're not as talented as Ohio State.
We tend to quiet Happy Valley double the size of this pissant by halftime. Not a big deal. Oregon fans are delusional if they think their tiny 50K stadium gets as loud as a Penn State whiteout or Camp Randall. Ohio State has no idea what they're walking into on Saturday. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Bucks by 50.
Yeah. Hush your mouth. Yeah.
Time coming off. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out. And that'll do it. Oh, my goodness. Welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon.
There you go.
Shout out to Ty Burrell, okay?
Yeah.
That is my guy. Listen,
man,
we keep receipts around here, okay?
Yeah, we're gonna keep them. The talk was, at the beginning of the season, the talk was, is Oregon ready for the Big Ten? My question now is the Big Ten ready for Oregon?
Ask it one more time and say it a little bit louder for the people in the back.
The question has been, is Oregon ready for the Big Ten? My question is now, is the Big Ten ready for Oregon? I don't think they are, man. Listen, Oregon is relevant. They have been relevant.
Yeah.
Oregon has always been a winning program. Certain big games in Oregon's history. I look at the Cal game for us. I look at the Arizona game that same year. Dennis getting hurt and just kind of shambles our dreams. I look at the Ohio State game for y'all, right? Like I look at, the national championship game, these big games that we were so close, but yet didn't get the job done. Yeah. This game meant so much because it was tapping into all of that.
Yeah.
And new beginnings, right? We always talk about new beginnings. This is a new beginning, a new era for the University of Oregon. And we've been talking about this as far as like handling business. Ohio State coming in, number 1 ranked defense. And damn near put 500 yards on them.
Absolutely. 496 total yards.
Right. So, the trenches for Oregon has been developed. I mean, we can talk about, the downfall of Oregon for the last several years is
I lived it, Stu.
Yeah.
That's where we lost games.
Yeah,
that's where games
trenches.
were won and lost. In the trenches. We didn't have the players that we needed to be able to hang with these Big Ten and these even I won't Big Ten so much because we fared better against them than we did the SEC when it came to, but nonetheless, we still lost the battle in the trenches.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this crowd noise. It was a lot of chatter again about Alton being a smaller venue and what it wouldn't be and how it wouldn't match up. And let me be not the first, but one of the many to go on record and say, this was the loudest I've ever heard Alton. And I've played in some extremely loud games, whether it was Fright Night SC in 2009, I believe it was, whether it was the Oregon State game in 2009 as well to get into the Rose Bowl. This reminded me of the 12th Man in Seattle back when they were the Legion of Boom. It was that the noise was that disruptive. I mean, that was clearly seen with the amount of false starts, delayed games that Ohio State had. So this crowd noise, especially on the field, was deafening.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while for me since I've been in an environment like that.
Yeah.
When I tell you this past weekend, it felt like someone turned on a vacuum cleaner and just put it next to my ear the whole entire time.
Yeah.
And like, we couldn't even talk to each other. You had to really pull up.
Had to get
and
right
be
up
right in
on
front
each
of the
other and
person's
be in
face.
your ear.
Yeah. It's crazy. And so, again, the fans showed up and it was electric. I mean, the energy was just everywhere and it did not stop.
Lasted the entire game.
Walking in there in the beginning of the game, you can see the student section sitting down, nice and quiet, reserving their energy, just being responsible. They're like, hey, everyone, just relax. We have a job to do and we're going to do it well. Because
But you could feel it, Stu.
Huh?
Even in the calmness of it, that atmosphere was electric. It was you could feel the excitement in the stadium. You can feel the anticipation for the kickoff. You could feel the heartbeat of that stadium. It was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful environment, and I'm so glad the fans showed up the way they did. The amount of alumni on the sideline was crazy. You seen everybody. Everyone was there.
Ruben Drones was there.
Everybody.
Achilles Smith. Dennis Dixon.
This is how Oregon's sideline is supposed to look. I hope this game set the tone for what a sideline should look like. You know, it's, obviously there's people that's donating money to the school. There's people that are important to the school that are on these sidelines, but that's not what excites the crowd.
Yeah.
That's not what is exciting these kids that's putting this uniform on. What's exciting the crowd and exciting these kids is the fact that I look to my left or I look to my right and I see a guy that's sat in the seat that I sat in. I see a guy that put the uniform and put the helmet on that I'm putting on. I see a guy that performed on this field. I see a guy that I watched on Sunday as a child growing up. That's what is exciting to the guys. But again, I understand this was the biggest recruiting weekend Oregon had during the season, I think, forever.
Yeah.
And so I understand why they pumped us all in there, why they had us all in there.
Yeah, but let that be the standard.
That's what it should be.
Let that be the standard.
Again, I understand. It's people that's giving money, but these kids want to see players. They want to see God. They want to see the guys that they're watching on Sundays. That's what they want to see. It has to be it was a great strategy, for Oregon, the way that they played it out. Again, because that's not typical. I've been in many games. It's not typical to see that many alum. But this should be the standard. What did you think of the opening Ohio State drive with the pick by Bossa, which was clearly an interception? Clearly an interception, but no review to it. What did you think about that?
It was a pick, but it was also the referees showing their hand of who they was pulling for.
Was it though? Because I thought that game.
Nah. Out the gate. You missed that. You missed that.
But again, that's not on them. That should have been something that came from upstairs for them to review.
Yeah, the whole mechanics of the situation was obviously flawed. You know what I'm saying? And college football right now, the refereeing, the policies, the rules, it might be a lot needs to be updated.
Yeah, but Stu, I don't know if I can stay in the car with you all the way because I thought that this game was called pretty evenly.
It was, I think, for sure. With the penalty, they got all them penalties. Yeah, I feel good about that.
Not just the penalties, but they allow both sides to play ball.
Yeah.
And as being former players, we both know what it's like to be in a game and you're handcuffed by referees.
Right.
And
I know that.
Honestly, I can honestly sit here and say, watching this game, neither one of these teams were handcuffed. They called the obvious. And that type of play with Bossa, that's a hard play to call on the field, especially when there's no clear view of that from a ref.
I'll say the last call, especially the pass interference on the young boy.
Number 4.
Yeah. The young boy.
4. Young boy. Young beast.
That was obvious as heck, right?
Yeah.
You're going to call it him.
Let's talk. Can we talk about something right there, Stu? I don't want to stop you, but can we talk about Joel Klatt? I don't know if you've seen it, but bro got on his platform and basically said the refs were wrong for making that call. He said that, it has to be obvious.
Boy, he had him
extend his
up.
arms. He didn't push off. I said, what do you mean? Like
he's about to go in there and choke him.
Boy, listen, he looked like he did something to the boy mama. And the boy said, come here, we got something to talk about. Let's go outside for a minute.
So he's running a hitch.
Let that run.
I was shocked watching the game that they called the offensive pass interference. I talk with officials all the time.
Do you?
And generally speaking, here's what it comes down to. For offensive pass interference, they want to see a clear extension.
Oh.
All right. They want to see the arm clearly extend in order to gain separation. Now, was there contact between Jeremiah Smith and the corner? Yes. And was it physical? Yes. There's no doubt. Now, on the film, all night it had been physical. And in fact, the play previous, Jeremiah Smith is being held the entire time he's trying to run a corner route. Like, it was a physical game. And they had let them play for the most part throughout the entirety of the game. And then all of a sudden, the corner squats. Jeremiah Smith is running his route and contacts the corner, and then breaks out.
What was the squat? There was no. He didn't sit. He wasn't in catching technique.
Bad call,
bro. It was a quick extension. He gave a quick extension, a punch.
No white tees in the club. He threw the boy out the club, Stu.
He didn't extend.
He didn't extend.
Push.
He doesn't push.
Right? Is there
then
contact?
what the hell do my eyes see? Listen, and I commented on this.
Lies.
I thought was, it was a poor call. It was a poor call.
I commented on his post and I said this. I said, you can't tell me the sky is purple when we both looking at a blue sky. That was clear as day. Boy threw that boy out the club.
1 + 2 is 7.
Right.
Just keep it moving.
Listen, we all got these platforms, but let's not allow our bias to seep through.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was evident. That was a clear call.
You're right, though. You're right, though. I'll get back in the car with you.
You back in?
The referees might not be able to see everything on the field. But,
yeah, well, put your seatbelt on and sit down.
But the mechanics of the whole situation of getting some answers upstairs, they need to bring that downstairs and get that review
that's
going.
That's upstairs, Stu. That's upstairs. That's not on the refs.
Hey,
that's not on the refs.
Refs need to tap up. Like, they need a little button on their hip. Like, hey, look.
Review that.
I didn't see that. Boop,
well, listen, one thing they didn't have to do, Stu, what they didn't have to review was our boy Trayshawn. That wasn't something that needed
so
to
we
be
was on the
reviewed.
sideline, right?
Right.
I was like, man, he didn't spit on him.
What'd I say to you, Stu?
You said, boy, you didn't watch film? That boy stepped all over. That boy stepped on somebody the other week.
A couple weeks ago, stepped on his head.
That's
so
right,
we
he
got
did.
We got a little clip. Rod, roll that clip for us. Let's roll that clip.
We're talking about dog. I want to talk about Trayshawn for a minute. I love the fire that he had. But Trey, you got to be able to control it.
Yeah.
There was a play on the sideline where the guy was grabbing onto his foot, and Trey stepped on the guy a little bit. Maybe he was trying to step over, maybe he wasn't. But watching Trayshawn over these past couple of weeks, he's a fiery. He's a guy that you want on your side, no doubt about it. But I want you to also understand that eyes are on you. And when I say eyes, I'm speaking about that next level. And so you don't want to get labeled as a guy way before you get into the league where that could potentially affect you and where you go, where you get drafted, and how teams look at you. So I love the fire in you. Keep the fire, but learn how to control that fire and don't be consumed by the fire because it can land you in a bad way.
And our guy, unfortunately, allowed the fire to consume him.
Yeah.
We talked about this, and we've been in locker rooms with fiery guys. And
you need those guys.
You absolutely do. And Trayshawn, again, I always want to kind of preface this before we speak about players because I never want a player to feel like we're signaling them out. I'm a fan of you. I got nothing but love for you. I love your game. Huge fan. I give you props almost every week. I love watching you play. I love the way that you play. But I'm going to talk to you as a man. The worst thing in this world for a man not to be able to do is control his emotion. A man that who can't control his emotions is a lost human. On that field, bro, regardless of what the talk is, and we all understand trash talk. We all understand that. A whole lot of said, a whole lot of wrong. I've had conversations with guys in the league to where certain things are being said. Like, bro, this is football, but if you want to take it there, we could take it there outside of here.
Yeah.
You have to be able to control yourself. You have to be able to control your emotions. And again, you don't want to get labeled this early in the game. You have the talent and the potential to play at that next level. Don't affect your draft stock this early in the game to where we don't want to touch him. He's not a guy he's an emotional guy that can't control those emotions. At the peak of your emotion, you got to be able to center yourself. You got to be able to calm yourself down. You can't allow what you've done to show because it's on camera. Again, like I said, it's not just those eyes in the stadium. It's not just your coaches, the opposing. it's everybody's watching you, and standing on that sideline, Stu, you can
it
speak
was
to this.
10 million plus eyes.
Yeah, but Stu, let's talk again, going back to the sideline. I seen almost every scout from almost every NFL team.
Tampa was there.
I seen everybody. So what do you think?
The Rams was there.
Yeah. So what Trey, what do you think when they go back and they got their scouting report about this Oregon-Ohio State game, and they're breaking down Ohio State and they break down Oregon and they go down this list of players and they get to Trayshawn? What do you think the conversation is? It's not about the catch that you made. It's not about the player that you are. Now it's about the actions that you took on the field, and that's not something that you want. I hate that happened. I don't hope that you have to learn from it, bro. You have to learn from it.
And I'm sure he's like super embarrassed, right? Like I
seen him walking off the field. It was all in his face.
And this just goes to show you, younger guys, and current pro guys, just athletes in general, the difference in this, this collegiate level and then getting to the next level is the growth that's happening between these ears. I think this can be a learning moment for the rest of the guys in that locker room.
For a fact.
To just learn that, hey, there's a way you have to handle things. There's a way you should be going about your business. And, just let your play, show, how passionate you are. Just play the game the right way. When the ball is snapped, you just got to go. You just got to go hard. And then when the whistle is blown, you got to go back to the huddle, man. And I'm all for the chatter. I want you to chatter. I want you to, get in the headspace. But everything else got to, temper down.
Yeah, that wasn't nothing football related. Let's talk about Dan. Talking about that late 12-man forced penalty, which was brilliant. Brilliant.
It wasn't one-on-one. We actually had a safety on top. So there was so it's called dog. It's when you play, but he wasn't in extremely tight coverage, but he was in dog coverage where he had safety on top of him. And there was a timeout before that. We spent an inordinate amount of time on situations. There's some situations that don't show up very often in college football, but this is one that obviously was something that we had worked on. So you can see the result.
Listen, you can see in his face as
he
he's
wanted
talking,
to laugh so hard.
the sneakiness in him. You can see it, and I love it. This was a phenomenal call. People can hate it. They can be mad about it. But this gave them, again, an opportunity. Me and you talked about it, but I said they had double number 4.
Yeah.
When it came down to it, when it was on the line, they did what they were supposed to do. Put 12 men on the field, double number 4.
Take some time off the clock.
Down, because you know that's who they want to go to in that situation, and you allow time to run off the clock. It was brilliant.
Dan, the man.
DTM, okay? Shout out to DTM and the coaching staff. And again, we all at the league, college, you go over situational football more than you go over anything.
Oh, and you be sitting in the meetings like, here we go again.
Here we go again, bro. We talked about this 17 times.
And sure enough, when it comes up, you better be ready because you're going to get cussed out if you're not.
Man, crazy. So I thought it was great. Again, and, the wherewithal.
The wherewithal.
Yeah, to be able to do that, call that. It was beautiful. Beautiful call by Dan and the D coordinator, all of that just coming together, the trust. It was beautiful.
What do you think is going to happen now with that rule?
They're about to change something.
They're going to have to change something.
Talking about it.
Yeah,
I was on the internet kind of scouring, kind of looking through. The NCAA is already looking into that. But listen, this was a hell of a game. Had the number 1 defense coming in. Like we said, the Ducks put up 496 total yards of offense. Jordan James had a day. We outrushed Ohio State. We beat them at their own game. And as we said, this game was coming down to the trenches. It was coming down to their O-line versus our D-line, our O-line versus their D-line. Dylan Gabriel played fantastic, 23 for 34, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdowns. And the way that the defense played without Birch was phenomenal. And I really want to give a shout out to Mateo. He stepped up huge. My guy had 5 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits. I was watching the replay and I was keeping my eyes on him. That dude played like a vet. He really stepped up. Caldwell, Harmon, the list goes on and on of the way guys up front stepped up. You can't replace a guy like Birch. but guys can certainly step up. And Mateo, boy, you balled out. You showed what you are. You showed what you're capable of. But now I expect it every week. You know, it ain't no. Once Birch comes back, when he does come back, you got to bring that same energy to the table. You got to be that same dog because you were a dog this last game, baby.
Yeah, and shout out to the defensive coaches, right? Having those guys ready.
Man,
you know, I don't think we spend enough time talking about how well prepared these coaches are through and through. They did that throughout the game, and they did it the best, and they were well prepared.
So happy for the Ducks. So happy for the fan base. Happy for Alton. Just huge, a huge confidence builder, and an emotional win. And with that being an emotional win, now we have to recenter ourselves. We got to bring ourselves back down and get back to work because we go into an environment that's not so kind as we travel out to Purdue. We played against Purdue in 2008 and 2009. And this team, it's always been hard games with them. It's been tough games with them each time that we played them while I was in school. When they traveled out to Purdue, that environment was crazy out there. And again, this is a Friday game. You know it's going to be a crazy environment. You got the number 2 team in the country coming in. You got Oregon coming in off of a huge win. And you're going to have Purdue with their mindset set on an upset. You're going to have an excited fan base. So we are going, and it's a short week. Let's not forget about that. It is a short week. So we have to recenter ourselves, kind of reground, regroup, and not allow this emotional high that we're on to get in the way.
You know, this is one of those games where if you handle business, and when I say handle business, you know, that's today, that's tomorrow, the next day, you know, having your emotions checked in. We talked about coping earlier, right? Cope with the wins. You know, enjoy the win.
Just ain't about the bad stuff.
Yeah, the win was celebrated on Saturday night. When I say lock in, you know, whatever that process is throughout the week, scheduling, you know, it's important. And that's the reason why football is so structured. It's so that way you can actually get back into balance. You know, you treat this week just like you treated it the week before. Now, the week before had a little bit more juice to it because a lot more was on the line.
Yeah.
So your emotions, your energy, you know, what took a shift a little bit.
Yeah.
So this week you have to have the mindset of, all right, back to business. You do not want to go in there on an away game to Purdue and give them something to be hyped about.
At all. Take them out the game early.
Because Purdue is also known for putting it on them. You know what I'm saying? Putting on some, you know,
They dominate big games.
Yes.
When high-ranked teams come into that stadium, Purdue comes to play, and they typically have come out on top over the last couple of years.
If I'm Purdue, I'm looking at this as my ticket to the NFL. So I'm going to give you my best shot.
You know you're going to get their best shot. Absolutely.
So you got to have that mindset. You got to make sure your chin strap is strapped. You can't necessarily go in there and just lay down and just think they're going to lay down too. So the offensive scheme, defensive scheme, it's just got to be locked in. Play your keys on defense. Protect the gaps because his quarterback, he's going to try to get up out of there. You talk about a guy that knows how to scramble.
Quarterback, the running back is nice.
Talk about a guy that knows how to make big plays with his legs. We got to make sure we play contain on defense, and everything else should, you know, help, you know, take care of itself. I don't really think they can stop us.
No,
on the offensive side of the ball.
I think this game will show Oregon's maturity as players. That's what this game will be a test of. Again, this game shouldn't be close. It shouldn't be. Oregon should take this game, take it early, and have it in hand. But this is going to show the maturity of this team.
Yeah.
In football, you have to have a short memory.
Short term.
Yeah, short-term memory. You got to have a play, get over a play, experience a win, get over a win, and get right back to the next thing. So in order to stay locked in, for me as a coach, I honestly wouldn't watch anything good that we did this week from the Ohio State game. I would watch everything that we have to correct.
And I've done that before. We've done that before many times.
This is great. This was a great win. We did phenomenal. But here, look at what we did wrong. And it's not to kind of dumb down the win, but it's a refocusing technique. Okay. Let's focus. Okay, boom, I got to get better at this. So when we do hit the practice field, which probably won't be too much practice in this week.
Oh, no.
Walkthroughs, as we talked about
reps.
in earlier episodes, mental reps. But I would completely readjust their focus by strictly just focusing on the negative. okay, we missed this block here. This should have been a big play here. This should have happened. Focus on that too. Okay, refocus guys and have them lock in. Boom, I got to be better. Yeah, you got to win and it was great, but I want you to be better. So that's what I would do.
Like, we still have not yet to have a complete game. And that's a good thing because we're still winning games. So there's time. There's still time for us to peak. And so, the red zone, I would love to see some better efficiency in the red zone. There was a lot of missed opportunities there with Dylan Gabriel and some throws. Whatever your first read is in the red zone, usually it's open. Just trust your reads and dial it up, man.
Put them big boys in there and let's play. Listen, we're in the Big Ten. Let's play power football, but let's play it to our advantage. We don't have to just line up with tight ends and everybody on the line and, a unbalanced formation. We don't have to. We use what you have to your advantage. And we got some big dudes on that defense that we can throw in there that who all they want to do is put their helmet on somebody and move
and just hit somebody.
Yeah, let's play goal line, dirty, grimy football.
Yeah, because Jordan James definitely did that this game.
Yeah, he ran like
he outperformed the whole Ohio State running game.
He did his thing. Shout out to Jordan James. Shout out to keep doing your thing, bro. And I had an opportunity when we rushed the field to talk to him a little bit, say some words to him. And I just told him, bro, keep running the way that you're running. Don't lose that edge, that angriness, that aggressiveness that you're running with. Bro, NFL teams are going to love that. And you are the engine of this team. As much as it's Dylan, it's you. And especially, we talked about it. I said, I wanted to see how we perform when all things were even. When talent level on both sides was even. And listen, fellas, you showed up, you showed out, you did your thing, you got to win against number one rush team in the country, one of the, I think, the top defense in the country. Listen, you boys did your thing. So, Stu, it's that time. It is that time. Oregon is a 27.5 point favorite. Are you going over or under?
Over. And only because they're going to go in there and handle business. They've been handling business all week, and we standing on business.
We 10 toes down.
We 10 toes down, baby. Get off the ground. Yeah. So I got us going 56.
Look, no lie on the Bible. 56 was in my mind.
Ooh. Okay, so we on one accord today.
We on one accord.
Lord Jesus.
If I think I got a Bible in my backpack. I put my hand on the Bible. 56 was in my head.
So do you have 17?
I'm going 56-14.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
I think we do put up 56 points.
Big Ten has, again, like how we started off, right? Big Ten does not know what to do with Oregon right now. I think everybody's scared, bro.
What DMX said, they don't know who we be. They don't know.
They don't know
the dog,
who we be. The cat, the rat, the mouse.
Yeah. They don't know who we be.
The buck hit you in the mouth.
Oh, you a rapper now.
Oh.
Listen, to your point, they don't know. And a game like this Ohio State game is a confidence builder. And not that they weren't confident already, but this game should let you know who you are. And once you know who you are, my sister says this to me, when you know who you are, you step powerfully into your purpose.
Ooh, go ahead, sister.
Yeah, talk to him, Ish. And
Ish. We need to bring her on the pod.
Boy, we'd be on here praying for 3 hours.
The world
3 hours straight. Whole pod of big prayer. But this last game is a confidence builder. I know who I am. I know who we are. Now I know we have a good football team. Not only do I know we have a good football team, but we have a football team that is great in a lot of areas and that can be greater than what we've shown. So this is when you start to step onto the field and you see a completely different team. You start to dominate these guys in a way that everybody thought you could, but now it starts to look effortless because now you believe in who you are. Now you know your true identity and you've been battle tested. But when you play a team like Ohio State and you come out the way that you did in a battle, this was a juggernaut battle. This was a heavyweight match. This was a boxing match. Body blows, haymakers, knockdowns, getting back up. This is what that was. And these type of games are what make teams. This is what build teams. So Oregon should go into this game with all confidence in the world in who they are, and what they have, and they should dominate this game.
Absolutely.
And so with that being said, Jay, that's all we got time for today, fans. It's been a great episode. We hope you enjoy it. We look forward to getting with you next week. And as always, Stu, I love you.
Love you too, brother.
And always remember, baby, ducks of a feather flock together. Till next time.